hope you all are sitting in a comfy chair because I'm about to make you squirm. I want us to say together the terrifying, scary, squirm-begetting verse that we memorized this week. Have you got it in front of you? Okay, let's say it. This is Jesus speaking to the people, and he says this in Matthew 12:37. But I tell you that men will have to give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word that they have spoken. And that word careless in the Greek is the word argos, and it means barren, lifeless. So basically what Jesus is saying is that you and I are going to have to give an account for every life-sucking word we speak. Does that make you squirm just a little? I know it makes me squirm because as we were talking about, okay, now truth time, we were talking about in the earlier videos how right before your period, estrogen and progesterone start moving around down here and they start duking it out and you feel all this tension in your body. And so what happened for me is that tension would just sort of come up my throat and all of a sudden spew out my mouth in these lava, hot, molten words and just burn somebody and leave a trail of ash. And I can remember getting on my knees and saying to God, God, please, I don't want my mouth to burn other people. And please, God, would you teach me to be a woman of gracious speech? And he did. He did. And that's one of the principles I want to teach you today. Because basically when it comes to your mouth, it's an open and shut case. Okay, so let's start with the shut part first. Okay, he showed me that you shut your mouth. And I think a lot of people, a lot of women, when they've got PMS, they need to apply the patch. Think of PMS as paced mouth shut. Paced mouth shut to careless words, critical words, excessive words, whining and cursing. And I talked about that in the book, and I told you that I needed some practical ways. I said, God, I need some practical ways to know how to keep this mouth shut. And the most practical thing I found was the band. Now, I hope you all went onto my website and you got the band. The band is, the way this works, you make a vow that you are not going to have any negative speech coming out of your lips. So you put it on your right hand, and then if you say a negative word, somebody will catch you, I promise, then you switch it to your left hand. And I have a challenge for you all. Are you ready for a challenge? I want you to go 7 days without saying one negative word. Do you think you can do that? 7 days, okay? So I promise you, I want you to get this band and try it because it will change you. This really changed me. And when I first got the band, I thought, well, you know, when I'm not PMSing, I'm not really that bad. But the truth was I had some huge negative speech patterns that I needed to change, and this made me aware of it. Okay, ladies, squirm time is over. Now it's time for the good news. Open your mouth to speak positive words. One of my favorite verses is 1 Peter 4:11, and it says, if anyone speaks, let him speak as one speaking the very words of God. Now, maybe you think, how can I, a sinful woman, speak as one speaking the words of God? There's a secret. In fact, Paul even talks about this in Colossians 1:27. He says, there's a secret, and it's this. Christ is in you. So you have Christ in you, the power of the living God. And you need to learn how to activate his voice in you. And there's 3 simple ways to do that. One is Bible study. That's what we're doing every week. Second, memorize scripture. We're doing that every week. And third, ask. God is the consummate gentleman. He never forces himself upon us. He just waits for us to ask. And so when we open our eyes in the morning, we say, God, please speak through me today. And when the phone rings, before you even pick it up, you say, God, let your words be my words. And as you go throughout the day, just say, speak through me, Lord. And he will. So when it comes to your mouth, it is an open and shut case. We shut our mouths to critical words and careless words, and we open our mouths to speak as one speaking the very words of God.